Happy New Year's! Okay, not quite Happy New Year's yet. When I'm filming this, it is the 31st of December. But you may be watching it in the new year, and I figure what a cool way to start it by talking about what we've learned in 2023, at least for me and my personal everyday carry. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about what I carry every single day and have been for a number of months, and what changes I've made throughout the year. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So for starters, let's talk about keys. These are the things that I hate more than practically anything out there, but I've been pretty happy with this setup. So what we have here is a key bar with my car keys, and in that key bar, I have their new slip joint system where I have a small utility knife for opening packages, and on the other side we have a flathead screwdriver along with my two keys that I carry. Now, because I have that flathead, I have stopped carrying pry tools almost entirely over the last 5 or 6 months while I've been carrying this. I don't think it's as good as those pry tools that I have, usually because they're also screwdrivers, but because I'm swapping out wallets, because I'm swapping out knives and so many other things, this has just been a constant. And so I always have a flathead to use either for prying or for screws, and that has been a really, really nice feature. Not much more else to say. This particular one is a limited edition that has a milled pocket clip that is screwed into the back, and it is an awesome piece. Definitely something to check out if you can find them, because they do only go on sale once in a while. But the new slip joint system, I love it. I never have to worry about this blade accidentally deploying, and it's fantastic. All right, next up, let's talk about the wallet. So I go through a lot of different wallets because I'm trying new things all the time. I even have worked with leatherworkers to design new wallets. I still haven't found the perfect thing. We'll discuss a little bit of what I think I can make in 2023 that will be perfect. But for now, let's talk about the Exter wallet. I didn't expect to like it. I'll be honest, I didn't expect to like it. And usually I don't like hard wallets. They tend to say they're minimalist, but they're not really, because they expand so much and it's just a big block in your pocket. But something about the Exter wallet, it really is more compact for whatever reason. And I really do like it. And I like that I can even shrink it down to practically nothing and still have access to 5 to 6 cards on the inside of it. Being RFID, it's really, really simple, and it functions. And I also, just so people know, I'm gonna have a 1-month review, and I have been manipulating it constantly to try and simulate multiple months of use. So we'll find out about this. We'll try some new wallets from Exter. But yeah, wallets are always an evolving thing. However, I think with my notebook setup, I wanna finally integrate both. And so that's exactly what we're gonna talk about. So I have this, and this has been a life-changing experience. I used to write in notebooks, primarily Write in the Rain notebooks, 4-inch by 6-inch spirals. I still think those are pretty good, but this is it. This is the way to go, at least for me. And that is something that carries flashcards. I know you're thinking, oh my God, flashcards, what is he, like in high school? No, it's awesome. I'm telling you, if you work in the kind of creative space that I'm doing, you need to be able to write a whole bunch of stuff about a subject that you're gonna cover, and then correlate it with other subjects, maybe transpose them. And flipping back and forth in pages, it doesn't work, at least for me. And also, I have a lot of ideas flowing. In fact, I have enough ideas that if I made 3 long-form videos a week, I'd be 2 years out. That's not an exaggeration. I actually have about 3 months worth on here and about 9 months worth upstairs. I have a lot of ideas I'd like to cover, and new stuff comes up all the time. So being able to put them on cards makes it much easier for me. I can take some out if I don't need them, put some in if I need them, and I'm gonna work on using the color coordination a little bit to help myself even more. But there's not an easy way to carry flashcards. There really isn't. There isn't a good design for carrying a 3x5 stack of cards. This is what Rite in the Rain came up with. It's expensive in my opinion for what it is, and it's not ideal. I don't like it, and it just carries no cards. I want something that's going to be this and this together. And I think I can figure that part out in this upcoming year. So that is going to be a big part of 2023, is coming up with a leather wallet design that integrates cards, but also the 3x5 flashcards that I really like to write on. Speaking of write on, let's talk about pens and everything else. And everything else all comes in a singular package. And that singular package is probably what has been the biggest change for my EDC in 2022. This. I have become an avid holster carrier, and I will show you in an upcoming video, I have spent probably almost $1,000 on holsters. No regrets, by the way. All of them are incredible. But the one that has made it on my hip every day has been this from Tale of Knives. They are doing something unique with the way they have set up these clips, allowing it to sit even lower than most clip-based holsters. And because of this pen slot, it actually keeps the shape really well without collapsing on itself. It's a very clever bit about this pen holster. And speaking of pens, I have a lot of them. In fact, I'll do a whole video on my most used pens. But guess what number one is? Here's a spoiler for you. It's this $2 4-in-1 by Bic. And you might not realize that they actually make an all black 4-in-1. It's awesome and it looks great on top of being functional. It's not that stupid powder blue white combo that you see running around in stores. This thing actually looks good, and you can buy a pack of 12 for about 24 bucks right now. And I have them everywhere. And even with the more expensive pens, they don't have the ability to use 4 different colors. And it matters when I'm using my note cards. It really, really does. It helps dramatically, and I only have to have one pen to do all of that. So this is the pen of choice and has been for a few weeks, and I don't see myself ever going back. Now, let's talk about multi-tool. I have so many multi-tools. In fact, 2023 is going to be a year where I condense that to at least half, maybe even lower. But the one that has made it into the sheath pretty much without exception over the last couple months has been the Swiss Tool MX Clip. Now, I was a little critical about this tool when it first came out, and I still think it's sort of true that the deployment on these is not so easy. I went ahead and filed down the inner parts of the tang to allow it to deploy a little bit easier, and that has fixed all my problems with it. But it provides me that one-handed blade and still has a compact and dense tool set that is fantastic. Everything in it works flawlessly. The scissors are not the greatest, but it covers all the bases, and I love it. It's great. As of right now, it's one of my favorite multi-tools that are currently existing. It was one of my favorite releases of 2022. Excellent tool, if you can get it, which is very hard because they are out of stock practically everywhere. But yeah, here we are. That is the multi-tool that makes it into this sheath and on my hip almost every day. Well, pretty much every day, and has been for a while now. Okay, what else we got? Okay, folding knives. So let's talk about folding knives for a second. So I'm carrying the CJRB. This thing is awesome, by the way. But folding knives are weird for me because I test a lot of them, I review a lot of them, but they are very redundant with the tool set you've already seen so far. So they don't necessarily accomplish as much for me as they would for other people. This is basically what replaces the multi-tool for most people, and probably not in a holster. So I like reviewing them. I think it's fantastic to try all of them. What I need when I carry a folding knife is something that complements a multi-tool. And something like that would be like this, a Praxis, a really, really big and slicey folder, something that the multi-tool doesn't do all that well. But you know what I found that works better than a folding knife is a pocket fixed blade. Now, I'm not gonna go pull out all my fixed blades right now that I've been trying. I'm trying to perfect a holster knife combo. It's a very expensive and very tedious process for me. And yes, I'm obsessing over it, but it's worth it because the combination of a multi-tool with a one-handed blade for utility tasks, and then a fixed blade for much heavy duty or food prep or anything like that, it's perfect. Like, it's the perfect combo. Much better than using a folding knife, unless the folding knife is made of like Van X Super Clean or is something along the lines of a Spidey Chef, which I have and I use. So you can make a folder, do the tasks that I'm looking for, but they're not quite as good as the fixed blade if you can carry them properly. I haven't quite figured that out. Something for 2023 for sure. All right, speaking of 2023, this is the last thing I'm going to say. The one thing I want to accomplish in 2023 is I want to shrink my entire collection by 50%. And we're going to do that through giveaways. We're going to do that through selling some stuff. I'm going to try some different places to sell things. I'll let you guys know about that. And I'm very excited about this. I want to have a process where things come in, I try, and then are released to you as quickly as possible. I do not want to be an accumulator of stuff unless it is clearly a best in class. And that way, when things are replaced in my best in class setup, it's a big deal and we get to talk about why it would replace something in my current setup. That's kind of what my goal is for 2023, and I'm pretty excited about it. I hope that you enjoy your end of year, but also that you have an even better one in 2023. So thank you very much for your time, and we'll talk again soon. Have a good one.